Hello, it's Yellow, and welcome back to my channel. I got a banger for y'all today, so let's get right into it. Last year, something happened in my school that genuinely sounded too insane to be real. Even now, when I tell people about it, they think I'm exaggerating or making up one of those fake TikTok story times where everything magically turns dramatic. But I swear this actually happened, and somehow I accidentally exposed this huge cheating ring at my school without even trying to. And the craziest part is that it all started because one guy wanted to flex on Snapchat for attention. So for context, my school was super competitive, like weirdly competitive. People acted nice to your face, but secretly everybody cared way too much about grades, rankings, scholarships, and college applications. There were kids having actual breakdowns over getting a B plus, which honestly could never be me. The school also had favorites, you know exactly the type of people I mean. Athletes, student council kids, honors students, the people teachers were obsessed with for no reason. They somehow always got extensions, extra help, and second chances while everyone else had to suffer, including myself. I wasn't really part of that crowd. I got decent grades, but I wasn't one of those students who based my entire personality around school. My main friend group was just me, a girl we're gonna call Ava, and a guy we're gonna name Marcus. Fun fact, Marcus was literally the biggest gossip magnet alive. I have no idea how he always knew everything happening at the school before anyone else, but he did somehow, I don't know. If there was drama, Marcus already knew details, the backstory, and probably screenshots too. Anyway, this whole thing started during finals week. Everybody was stressed, exhausted, and running on caffeine and pure fear. I was in the library after school trying to study history, and then Ava suddenly texted me telling me to come to the cafeteria immediately because she and Marcus had found something insane. So when I got there, they were both way too excited. Marcus showed me a screenshot from this popular baseball guy's Snapchat story. Let's just name the guy James, and he was one of those students who somehow never did work but still passed everything. And the screenshot showed part of a chemistry final exam. Not study notes, the actual final exam. The problem was that the chemistry final hadn't happened yet. It was scheduled for the next day. Apparently, James had posted it on his story for less than a minute before deleting it, but Marcus had screen recorded it because he screenshots literally everything. At first, we were mostly just laughing because it was so unbelievably stupid. Imagine risking your entire future just to flex online for 10 seconds. Absolute clown behavior. But then Marcus mentioned something that made everything feel weirder. Apparently, people had been joking for months that certain students always seemed to know test questions beforehand, mostly athletes and honor students. And everybody assumed it was just like rumors or people exaggerating because they were jealous, but suddenly it didn't feel so fake anymore. The more we thought about it, the more suspicious things started making sense. There were students who barely passed homework assignments but somehow got near perfect test scores. Certain friend groups magically aced every exam together, and some people always seemed way too relaxed during finals week while everyone else was dying, including myself. So naturally, instead of minding our business like normal people, we are curious. Which was honestly a mistake. The next day, Marcus somehow got added into this private Discord server through one of his friends, and the server was disguised as a study group. But the second we looked through it, we realized something was seriously wrong. People were posting messages about answer drops and review packets and asking for payments before sharing files. There were locked channels and private sections for different classes. And then we realized people were literally selling test answers. I genuinely thought it was fake at first because it sounded too ridiculous. Like, who starts an underground business over algebra finals, right? But the deeper we looked, the worse it got. There were screenshots of quizzes, answer keys, essays, and study guides that looked suspiciously identical to actual exams. Some students were paying insane amounts of money for access too. What made it crazier was how many people were involved. There were over 100 students in that Discord. 100. At our school, that was massive because the person running most of it was a senior. Let's name her Natalie. And she was basically the definition of a perfect student. Straight A's, class president, varsity athlete, by the way. Teachers loved her, parents loved her, everybody thought she was perfect and amazing, which honestly made the whole thing even more insane. At that point, we should have reported it anonymously and moved on with our lives, or just left it normally. But instead, Marcus decided he wanted actual proof before sending anything to the principal because he thought screenshots alone wouldn't be enough. So he messaged one of the people selling answers and pretended he wanted to buy an algebra final, and somehow they agreed to meet behind the gym after school. I swear it felt like we were about to witness a drug deal over math homework. When we got there, it ended up being James. Of course it was James. Marcus secretly recorded the interaction while pretending to ask questions about the test. James showed screenshots of the actual final exam on his phone, which already proved enough. But then he accidentally made a huge mistake. While talking, he casually mentioned that Mr. Harris had given them early access. The second he said it, everything changed. Because students cheating is one thing, but teachers helping students cheat is a completely different level of insane. James realized immediately that he messed up and tried to backtrack, but the damage was already done. That was the moment this stopped being funny. Before that, it felt like dumb high school drama, suddenly it became a real scandal. That night we debated forever about whether we should actually report everything or not. I was against it, Marcus was for it, and Ava was like Switzerland, neutral. Part of me, actually, not part, like mostly I didn't want any involvement because I hate drama, and exposing people at our school basically guaranteed everyone would hate whoever did it. But to be honest, one part of me was honestly pissed off because people were out here actually studying, stressing themselves to death, losing sleep, and trying their hardest while other students were literally buying answers and cheating their way through school. So, Marcus finally sent everything anonymously to the principal. Screenshots, screen recordings, Discord links, everything. We thought maybe a few students would get in trouble quietly and that would be it. Oh, we were very wrong. The next morning, the entire school felt weird immediately. You could tell something had happened because teachers were acting nervous and students kept checking their phones during class. Then the principal started calling students into the office one after another, including James, including Natalie, and including multiple athletes and honor students. And that's when rumors exploded everywhere. By lunchtime, people were freaking out. Students were deleting apps, leaving group chats, and panicking in hallways. Some people genuinely looked terrified, which I don't blame them. Then everyone noticed something else. Mr. Harris wasn't at school. Instead, there was a substitute teacher in his classroom. And that's when everybody knew the rumors were true. Over the next week, the entire cheating ring basically collapsed. The administration discovered that students had been collecting tests and answer keys for almost 2 years. Some students stole materials directly from classrooms while others photographed exams during tutoring lessons or office hours. People had apparently made thousands of dollars selling these answers. Thousands. And it was just over schoolwork, like the district eventually got involved because it became such a huge issue. Parents were furious, teachers were embarrassed, and students, well, they were losing their minds trying to figure out who exposed everything. And honestly, that part was the scariest. People were angry. Not because cheating was wrong, but because they got caught. For me, I felt very bad. We could have just left that alone. But at the same time, I was very happy because finally everything can be fair, which I like it more. Some students got suspended, some lost leadership positions and scholarships, and Natalie got removed as class president. Mr. Harris resigned before he could officially get fired, and the school tried so hard to make everything sound less serious than it actually was. They kept calling it an academic integrity issue, like half the school wasn't running some organized cheating business through Discord. The aftermath lasted forever too. Teachers became insanely strict after that. Phones were banned during tests, seating charts became mandatory, and every teacher suddenly acted paranoid about students even looking around the room. Everybody suffered because some people got greedy. The funniest part is how random the whole thing was. If James hadn't posted that Snapchat story for literally a few seconds, nobody probably would have ever discovered anything. That's honestly what makes this story so insane to me. This whole cheating operation lasted for years, but eventually somebody got too confident and did something unbelievably dumb for attention online. And that's usually how people get caught. They start thinking they're untouchable. Anyway, Marcus became kind of a legend afterward because people suspected he exposed everything, even though nobody could prove it, and he absolutely loved the attention. Meanwhile, I'm still stuck thinking about how I went to the library to study history and somehow ended up helping expose an entire cheating ring at my school. High school is actually ridiculous sometimes. Now, guys, you tell me, what would have you done? Would you expose it or would you keep quiet? I don't know if I did the good decision or not, but I guess only time will tell. For the moral of the story, that is, if you do have all the answers in the world, don't act like you own the world because it can bite you back in the ass harder than you think. And guys, that's going to be it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Go touch grass if you hadn't, and as always, stay yellow.